Hi, this is Sharon from Crafty and Creative Ideas.blogspot.com. I'm here today to bring you another one of my Wow That's Cool videos from my series. The card today is an original Stampin' Up idea, and it's called the Amazing Folding Card. And this was done with a make and take session. They had used Sweet Dreams, but I am using Made with Love, the new baby stamp this year. It's really cute, and it does match, a lot of these match the framelits from the Something for Baby stamp set. So you can, the onesies and everything still use the same framelits. We're going to go through all the cutting pieces first, but I want to show you first how this card actually lays out. I did make a matching envelope, and if we have time in the video, I will show you how to do that too. Okay, this pretty much just ties around the card. But when you open it, the whole thing blooms and pops open. It's just so cute. Such a cute card. So we're going to get started on how to cut these pieces and get started on the card itself, okay? So what we're going to need, and you're going to need quite a few pieces here. For the card itself, the base of the card, you're going to need an 8 by 8 crisp cantaloupe, or whatever color you decide to make these, and and blend it. I ended up using on the front, on the inside of the card, you want 2 designer papers that would be 3 3/4 each, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. You need 2 of those, and then you're going to need 2 white pieces that would be 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. For the front part of the card, you're going to need 1 white piece that's going to be 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I ran this through my polka dot embossing folder. Then for these sections, you're going to need a 2 7/8 by 2 7/8 crisp cantaloupe, a decorative paper. The designer paper is from the Sweet Dreams DSP. Little piece on the front is 1 1/4 by 2 3/4. And I did tell you the crisp cantaloupe. Then you're also going to need 1 punch of the 1 3/4 punch, and we're going to be using half of it. You're going to need about, I'm going to say about 12 inches of matching ribbon for whatever color you chose, and the matching ink, which I'm using the crisp cantaloupe because these were my colors. I honestly wanted to do a boy one, but the Sweet Dreams was more a Lost Lagoon, and I just thought it was too dark for baby. So I'm just going to do another crisp cantaloupe. So we're going to get started. On the large 8 by 8 piece, what we're going to do, I like to put mine in the scoreboard. I'm just going to score, this is 8 inches, so I'm going to score at 4 and 4. Then I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to fold that card in half on those lines. It just makes it so much easier if you've done it. And then, once again, the other direction. Okay, and give it a little crease. Okay, before we fold the card to get the angles in the middle, we want to stamp on 2 sides of the card. So I had used the little bunny, and I'm going to do the same thing here. This stamp says Happy Little Baby. Okay, I'm going to take my crisp cantaloupe. I'm going to stamp a couple of bunnies first, and then I'm going to go back and get the kitties. Now I don't want the ink to get on the opposite side, so I'm going to just use a mask, just a little piece of paper, lay it over, so that when I do stamp, I can stamp over it. Just kind of get some bunnies randomly around there. Okay, I've stamped a couple of bunnies on the one side, and then I'm going to do some bunnies on the opposite angle of the card, and some kitties too. Okay, so I'm going to keep moving on that, and I'm going to stop the camera a second. Okay, now I'm just going to stamp a few kittens on here. Just randomly. A couple in here. Now we're going to take our paper and we're going to, let me zoom this out a little bit. We're going to take our paper and make the corners match so that you have the pattern on the top and then the bottom of the opposite corners. And then we're going to use your bone folder to give that a nice crease. You want to make sure these are really even, because when your card pops open, if it's not, I mean, nothing's going to work right on it. So you want to get your ends, 2 points. There we go. I'm going to take my 2 pieces that are my decorative 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 pieces, and I'm going to adhere them one and the opposite corners of where I have the babies, the little kittens and bunnies. Okay, and I'm going to take the second one now and do the same thing. And lay that on there. Then I'm going to take my 2 white pieces that are 3 1/2 by 3 1/2, and I'm going to attach that onto these pieces. Okay, now we're going to do some stamping of a sentiment on these white pieces. Okay, I've chosen the small little duck from the set and wishing every happiness to you and your baby. Okay, so I'm going to stamp those. I'm going to turn my card on an angle. And once again, I'm using Crisp Cantaloupe. I'm just going to flip it around, do the same thing, and then I'm going to take my sediment and stamp that on the angle also. There. Okay, now we're going to start to work on the front, the inside of the card. This is going to, you're going to see that this just pretty much folds all by itself. Okay, once you get this done, it's going to be a 4 by 4 card. Make sure it opens from the bottom, you know, once you decorate, otherwise you'll have everything upside down. It's going to open from the wrong side. So be careful that, you know, make sure everything is pointed in the right direction for opening. Okay, then I'd like to try to just do a little crease again so everything lays down. Okay, now we want to work on the front part of the card. So we take the little polka dot piece, which is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. You could use, if you don't have a polka dot folder, just use anything. I thought the little dots reminded me of baby, so, I mean, but you could really use the big polka dots. You could use anything you want. Even stripes would probably be cute on there too. Okay, so we've got that down. Now we're going to take our other 2 pieces, which is going to be your darker color in the back and your decorative. Attach that with snail to the Crisp Cantaloupe. And then we want to take the little white strip that we have that is 1 1/4 by 2 3/4, and that's the one that we're going to stamp the little deer on and a couple little flowers. Now we're going to put a little adhesive snail on the back of the white piece that you just stamped, and we're going to attach that. I'm going to take a couple dimensional corner. Okay, leave the middle open through here because your ribbon has to be able to fit under that. Okay, so before you attach it to the card, you want to put a piece underneath it, so then when you attach it, when you take your dimensionals and put it, this is already there and you can pull it through. Now this little square will be off-centered on the card. It's not directly centered. I mean, you could do that if you want, but I think it looks cute a little off-centered. But I did, you know, make it even from top to bottom here. There we go. Okay, so now I've got the ribbon feeding through. 1 3/4 punch, and we're going to punch out a circle. And then we're going to cut it in half because we only need half of it. Okay, so I just cut this in half. It was for your little one. And we're going to stamp that right in the center of that half circle. There we go. Now you're just going to take a little adhesive, and then we're going to attach it to the side of the card. And then we're just going to tie a bow. Alright, so I have my ribbon stretching across the back and then toward the front. There you have it. So there's your little card. As for the envelope, I cut and I used the envelope punch board. The paper is 6 7/8 and 6 7/8, and I scored at 3 1/2. And my liner I made at 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. So I'm going to try to do this really quick for you. I'm going to score on the 3 1/2 inch mark and punch. So I'm going to punch, then score. This is going to be for a 4x4 envelope. Then you're going to match up the score line with the little thing that sticks out on this punch. You're going to punch again and score. Same thing, line it up with the score line again. Punch and score, and the same thing. Punch and score. Then you want to take the corner rounder and round one of those corners off. Okay, for the liner, we cut it at 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. And we're going to punch at 3, and then we're going to flip it completely over like a page, like if we were reading a book, so that we have the opposite side, and we're going to punch it at 3 once again. The sides that are coming down on the slope, that's the side you want to round the top. Then for your liner, you're just gonna put adhesive and lay it inside the envelope. Your card's gonna fit right in there into your decorative envelope that matches it. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, you won't miss any of my videos when I come out with new ones. And you can hop over to my blog at craftyandcreativeideas.blogspot.com and get the supply list for the card. Everything will be listed on there. And you could also find it under the stamp name, Made with Love, or under even baby cards, if you're doing a search in the box. If you have enjoyed this video and it has helped you, I'd appreciate if you could give it a thumbs up. Even if you have time to comment, it'd be wonderful too. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and God bless.